Today we will see how to create web applications using Cline. I'm using Visual Studio Code for creating my applications. So in the extensions, you can search for a Cline extension. So if you see here, it's an autonomous coding agent right in your IDE, capable of creating, editing files, running commands using the browser. So this one was helpful for creating applications. I just tested it. I just wanted to share this with you. So you can install this extension. Once you install it, you will see Cline in your Visual Studio Code here. So here you might have to give there are many options for the API providers. So you can use any of the ones. So today I'm going to use this Anthropic. So for using Anthropic, we need the API key. So we'll first create the API key. So you can go to Anthropic website and then you can go to API and start building. So get API keys. So here you can create the key. So let it be test key Cline. Okay. So you can just create the keys here. We'll copy the key. Once you copy the key, you can put it here. And so the default it is choosing is a Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So let that be there. We don't need to do anything. So let's close this. Now we have set up the Anthropic API keys. Now let's give the task to create an application. So what we will do is first we can create a simple to-do list application using HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So we'll just create a simple to-do list application using all these things, and then it should have the application has to be responsive. The application should have the ability to add, delete, and mark tasks as completed. So this is what we want. And then we have to define the steps. So step 1, create UI with an input field to get task from the user. And so we will need a add button. Once the user enters the task, submits the task, the user should be able to delete and mark down the task as completed. Step 3 is store the tasks in a local storage. Okay, these are the steps we wanted to do. So first what we will do is we will just do a plan. So if you see here in the plan mode, Cline will gather information to architect a plan. So it will just do an architecture for the plan. In the act mode, it will complete the tasks immediately. So we don't want that first. We will see what it is planning to do. So once we give our request, so it is just processing the request. So if you see here, it is just giving a plan of what it is trying to do. So if you go through the plan, it is costing this much price for the execution, whatever it is executed. So it is showing all the things like the tokens, how many it has spent, and how much amount it has taken for executing the steps. So here it is giving the details. So here it's saying that I need to plan a simple to-do list application using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and Node.js. The application should be responsive and have the ability to add or delete as completed, and the task should also be stored in local. This is the instruction which we gave. So it is breaking down the requirements. So it's saying that create a responsive UI with input field for task entry, add button to submit tasks, display area for task, delete and complete functionality for each task, and local storage integration. So technologies it is using is HTML for structure, CSS for styling and responsiveness, and JavaScript for functionality, Node.js for server side. Though most functionality will be on the client side, it's not going to use backend that much. Since I am in plan mode, I should focus on architecting a solution and engaging in a conversation with the user to refine the plan before implementation. The plan is it has to add new task, delete task, mark task completed, and stored in local. These are the things this application should have. And for the project structure, it is creating an app, a to-do app. Inside the public directory, it's going to have the index.html, CSS. Within that has the style.css and the JavaScript directory. Within that, it has the app.js and it has the server.js for the node for the backend. This is the structure it has created. For the implementation approach, for the first step, it's designing a clean, responsive interface with the header and then the input field, add button, task list, and then responsive design. Then it is implementing the task functionality, like for adding, displaying, deleting, markdowns, and for all these things, it is doing that. And then it has to integrate with the local storage, so for that, it is doing. And for the Node.js server, simple Express server to serve the static files. Questions. So now it has done the plan, so it's asking questions. Do you want any specific styling theme or color scheme for the application? So it's asking what color to put. And then would you like any additional features beyond the basic requirements? Task categories, due dates, priority levels. Do we need any additional things? It is asking. And it is saying that do you want the ability to edit existing tasks? Should completed tasks be shown differently or moved to a separate section? So it's asking to give details about this. So let's enter those details here and then say that any styling theme or color scheme. So we will say that you will have blue color for the color scheme. And would you like any additional features beyond the basic things? We can add task categories, ability to edit tasks. Yes, add ability to edit tasks. Should completed tasks be shown differently or moved to a separate section? Say that show it differently. So these are the questions it has asked and we are giving the answers. So we will submit the answer now. Let's see what it is doing. So based on our answer, it is reprocessing the plan again and then coming up with a new plan. Adding, so it is editing also, it has updated. And then visual styling, it has updated. So it has completed all these things, technical consideration. Does this refined plan meet your requirements? Would you like any adjustments when your plan built? Okay, I think this should be fine. So now we can do the act. So it is completed index.html. Now it is creating the style.css. Now it's creating the app. So it has created all the 4 files. Now it is creating a JSON file. Wants to install the npm. So it is asking can it run this command. So it is wanted to go into this to do app and then install this thing. So we can say that run command. I think it's because it's a Windows machine. It's trying to use this thing and it's not able to do. So it's correcting that again and then trying to run it. So it's asking for permission again. So it has installed the npm. Just creating a readme file. So it has completed the whole application and then it is showing the preview of the UI here. And then you can see that it is starting the npm server, like it is starting the server and the application is running on the local host at 3000 port. So now it is trying to test this application to see if the UI is working fine. So if you can see that it is trying to test this thing on its own automatically to see all the functionalities are working or not. So it's connecting to the browser and then it's trying to test it. So it is finding that there are some errors it is finding and then it's trying to fix the code by itself. So it wants to start the server again. So let's execute it. Okay. So let's start the application. It's completed everything. Let's start it and see how it works. So we can see the UI here. It has created everything. So it has a task input field and the category of the task and then a due date and then add button to add it. So we can filter, we can sort and tasks here when we add it. So let's test it. So we'll give a sample task 1 and for category let it be work. Let the due date be, let it be the one here. It's fine. Let's add task here. So it's giving a message, task added successfully. Okay. So here we have the task here. It has the category, it has the date. There's the option to edit, delete, and complete here. So let's try edit. So we'll say we'll just change this to sample task 2. So if you want to complete it, it is completing. If you want to delete it, it's deleted. So now let's add one more task here, sample task 4. Let's put it under others and put it 8. Add task here. We'll add sample task 6. Shopping 14. Add task here. Okay, now we have 2 tasks. Let's filter by category. We have shopping, right? Let's work. There is nothing. Shopping we have 1. Other we have 1. And all categories, let's by due date. We're sorting it by created date, sorting it by category. We can see that the application is fully functional now. So it has created an application, like it has created the UI, it has created all the required in code that is required for adding the task and then deleting the task and then editing it. So it has done all these things like just by entering the prompt. So we didn't do any coding or anything. Like we can see like it has created all these codes by itself. So this will be useful for people who are creating MVPs. So if they wanted to create a product and then test it in the market, so this will be the best approach, I think. Yeah, so it's really helpful. So if you like this video, please let me know. Thank you.